This stretch will be performed one leg at a time, one set of hamstrings at a time. And we'll be using this massage table right here to assist me with this stretch. You will need an object to assist you with the stretch. It could be a table, it could be a massage table, it could be a coffee table, it could be a chair. As long as you're in the correct position and you're following all the guidelines that we'll go over and all the guidelines that are presented in the textbook itself, then any object should do the job. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by stretching my right hamstrings. So my right leg is actually going to jump up onto this table. So I'm in this stretched out position, unnatural position already. But a few things to note here. A, we want to stand as straight as we can while having one of our legs up on the object, up on the table. But as we've discussed before, very important to focus on the stabilizing part of this exercise, so the stabilizing leg. In this case, it's the leg that is not being stretched out. It's my left leg. You want to make sure that your left leg's in a comfortable position so that your body is stable and you can focus on the stretch itself. Now, once I'm good with that, now I can focus on stretching my hamstrings on my right leg. So what I'm going to do here is you want to make sure that your toes are in front of your knee. You do not want your knee to be in front of your toes, because then we'll be focusing on other muscles and we'll be avoiding focusing on the hamstrings that we want to focus on. So your toes are going to be actually maybe half a yard in front of your knee or something along those lines. And what we're going to do here is actually simply imagine you're trying to bring the upper part of your hamstring, which in this case is over here, the area closest to my buttocks. Imagine you're trying to pull that area down towards the table. Down towards the table, maybe down towards the table that's closer to your heel. By doing that, by trying to get it as close as possible, you're not going to reach the table because the way your leg is structured and the position that it is in at this moment, it will not allow that. But what it will allow is for those hamstrings to stretch. So if I'm in this position and I'm focusing now on bringing the upper part of my hamstrings, the area that is closest to my buttocks, as close to the table as possible, I will be feeling that stretch all along my hamstrings, all the way from my buttocks down towards my knee, or up towards my knee in this situation. To regulate this stretch, a couple things are important. A, you want your body to be as straight as possible, because even here, by lowering your chest with a straight back towards your knee, you will feel that stretch intensifying. Another thing you can do here, again, is simply just increase that space between your knee and your toes. So you can do that either by crawling your toes away from your body and increasing that range of motion, and then by doing so you'll feel a stretch intensifying. Or if I go back to the position I was in, you can also use your stabilizing leg to jump further backwards, and then there's a greater range of motion here. And then simply by being in this position, simply by pulling the upper part of my hamstring towards the table and towards my heel, and simply by standing straight and slightly bending my chest towards my knee, you will feel your hamstrings stretched in this position. With your arms, you can have them hang loose, but always just be in control and be ready to react in case you need to stabilize your body, or because there's no weight that should be placed on your arms. If you're comfortable in this position, what you can simply do is just place your hands, your palms on your knee, just for extra stability, and that's what the illustration in the book shows as well. To show you from another angle, and for me also to stretch out my left hamstrings, again, I'm going to start in that standing position, have my object ready to go, make sure it's a comfortable object and suitable object that follows all of our guidelines. And what I'm going to do is bring my left leg up towards the table here. Once I'm in this position, already I can feel a stretch on my hamstrings, but to intensify and regulate the stretch and do it in the best way possible, I'm going to focus on my right stabilizing leg, make sure it's keeping me in place, make sure it's keeping me stable, make sure my core is tucked in, make sure my back is straight. To intensify this stretch, I already know that I need I need to take it a step further than what it is now, so I'm just going to crawl my toes away from my body a little bit. I'm going to make sure my back is straight, and I'm going to focus on using the upper part of my hamstrings and try and pull them towards the table, towards my heel. My back is straight and slightly bent towards my knee. Now I can feel the stretch all the way from my buttocks, all the way up, all the way down towards my knee. I'm going to hold that position and let the stretch do its thing. Again, as the illustration shows in the book, you can just use your hands and lean on your knee, not as regulators of the stretch or not to intensify the stretch, but simply to allow you something to do with your hands, and also to increase maybe the stability of your body by leaning on your actual leg.